y'all, Dixie here. In and of itself, going into the woods and sleeping there does not cost a lot of money, but backpacking gear, on the other hand, and getting into the world of backpacking can be pricey. So let's talk about some things to help you save money. First, buy things with a lifetime warranty if possible. Now, I'm not saying that this should be your only deciding factor on what you buy, but if you're looking into Osprey packs, for example, and another brand, and you're kind of torn, that could be something that helps you decide to go with an Osprey pack. I have heard from multiple people say the big pocket on the outside of their pack rip. Osprey replaced it with no hassle. Also, Darn Tough is another company like this. Yeah, their socks are expensive right out the gate, but ultimately, if that pair of socks is gonna last you for your whole life, then it makes sense. Hike in warm weather. I understand that some people like to hike in the cooler months so they're not sweating their butts off, but when you're first getting into backpacking, buying gear for the colder months can be more expensive because you need more things to keep warm, and also, say something like your sleeping bag, if you have more insulation in it, likely it's going to cost more. So if you start off in the warmer months, then you won't have to have as much gear and also ratings for lower temperatures. Another thing that you could bypass in the warmer months is expensive puffy coats. If you have something like a pullover fleece from a thrift store, then that should keep you warm enough in the evenings during the warmer months. Next, buy used gear. There are a lot of different groups on Facebook where people buy or trade and sell used gear. And if you don't get on Facebook, then you can even check out something like REI. They have used gear for sale on their website for member access only. There are some other resources for shopping used backpacking gear, like the Backpacking Light Gear Swap Forum. You do have to be a member for $15 a year, but if you score some sweet deals, that would definitely be worth it. And it could be a good place to find used cottage company gear. With REI, you're probably not going to find any of that. And don't forget eBay. You never know what you might find there. And for selling, keep in mind that you will have to deal with the fees. But in this used gear, you can sometimes find things that have only been used maybe one time and somebody realized, hey, this isn't really for me, and now I want to part with it. And sometimes folks are so desperate to just get rid of it and get some money back that you can find it for a really good price. Another option for saving money is to rent gear. REI and sometimes even local outfitters will rent gear items to folks. Renting gear is a good idea because, one, you can test out different things to get a better idea of what you actually like before you make a big purchase. And two, maybe you won't need an item regularly, like a bear canister, for example. You might be going on a trip far off somewhere and you really won't be hiking where bear canisters are required in the near future. Well, then it makes sense to rent over buying. Don't waste money on non-essential gadgety items. There are all sorts of things out there in the gear world that promise to solve whatever little problem you have on trail or inconvenience. But if you buy every single one of those little things, you're gonna spend a ton of money that you don't have to backpack, and you're gonna have a lot more weight on your back. So get out there with the bare minimum, and then you'll learn what your pet peeves are, what you don't want to deal with as far as convenience goes. Maybe you're somebody that wants a little mini pump to blow up your inflatable sleeping pad. That's okay, that's a luxury item. But having 100 luxury items when they're not necessary is gonna put a hole in your wallet and hurt your back. Next, buy backpacking foods in bulk or look for sales. Things like packages of tuna, something that will sit on your shelf and last for a while until you go on multiple backpacking trips where you can use it up. And the prepper side of me thinks it's not bad to have some food storage anyway. Next, dehydrate your own meals. If you're somebody who likes to cook, the prepackaged, freeze-dried backpacker meals that are marketed to backpackers can be very convenient because they come in an envelope, everything is there that you need, you just add boiling water and you don't even have to clean up afterwards. But convenience often comes at a cost. so they are pricey. But if you get sick of the same things over and over, or especially if you're on some sort of particular diet where you want to control your ingredients, then dehydrating your food can certainly save you some money. Next, have patience and watch for sales. I hate getting spammy emails as much as anybody else, but signing up for gear companies that you actually want to buy products for makes sense. Around the holidays, especially Black Friday, Cyber Monday, but even things like Valentine's Day or President's Day, they will have different sales. And another way to get a discount while you're shopping online is to put whatever you're interested in your virtual cart and then leave it. And then sometimes you'll get an email that says, hey, did you forget to check out? We still have this item in your cart and we're willing to give you 10 or 15% off if you want to go ahead and complete your purchase. My next tip is buy once, cry once. And I'm sure y'all have heard this before, but sometimes it makes sense to go on and shell out a decent amount of money for a quality item rather than trying to skimp and then you get something that you don't really like, and because it's very much a budget item, you're not really going to get much money back for it if you try to sell it. And then you might try another couple of things before you realize, hey, I really just need to shell out the big bucks for the thing that's truly going to be comfortable and work for me on trail. So while there is a fine line between trying to get something within your budget, sometimes it makes sense to go on and put out top dollar for that item one time and then you're done. Well, until it wears out. Next, once you have your gear dialed in, do not watch gear videos. Now, I know that this tip could make my views go down, but in the spirit of saving money, this is the best idea. Because if you're the person that has a hard time resisting the new and greatest thing, then watching all of these gear videos and reviews about the newest, shiniest thing might put a hurting on your wallet. So use your gear until it wears out, or at least sell the thing that you have and don't want before upgrading. Next, if you find out a piece of gear that you have just isn't working for you, then try to sell it as quickly as possible before the next new shiny thing comes out and it's kind of irrelevant. That way, one, you'll get more money for it than you would if you wait, possibly. Two, you'll have that money sooner to look at an upgrade or some sort of additional backpacking item. And three, which really doesn't have to do with money, but you won't junk up your gear space at home as much. Maximize your fuel. I am a little afraid to do this, but some people will get a gas transfer valve and they will combine gas cans that maybe don't have enough to go out for another trip because there's maybe only a day of fuel in there. So they'll take their gas canister and put the leftover fuel from one into another, and maybe it'll fit like 2 or 3 or 4 of the cans that just have a little bit into a can that now comprises a whole can. Again, use a lot of caution if you decide to do this. I'm too much of a chicken, but I have seen people do that to save money on fuel costs. Finally, get an REI credit card. I promise REI did not pay me to say this. Somebody commented this and said they have an REI credit card that they use on all sorts of things, just regular day life expenses, and they get rewards for that and dollars back. So each statement they get like $30 to $40 back from REI. So at the end of the year, they've got anywhere from $300 to $500, and they use that to buy something that they need at REI. Now, this person said they get their big 3 from cottage companies, but this can still be useful to people who have fuel canisters or backpacker meals or other little things that you can purchase at REI. Now, from what I saw online to sign up for this credit card, you do have to be an REI member, but that is a one-time fee and then you're a member for life. And of course, if you're gonna use this method, I'd pay off your balance every month so you're not paying interest. All right, y'all, well, that is all I have for you today on tips for saving money on backpacking gear. If y'all have any other recommendations that I did not mention in this video, I think all of us are always looking for ways to save money, so feel free to comment below. Thank y'all so much for watching. If you found this video useful, don't forget to share with a friend, and we will see y'all next time.